Hey, what's up? Hola, ¿cómo está?
Hola, estoy muy bien.
Cool.
Saludos desde España.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Welcome to LA. It's early here. It's still
Thanks.
the morning, so um, I'm not sure how many people are gonna be around here to watch us talk about yoga and calisthenics. But cheers. So, um,
Cheers.
so yeah, how's Spain doing? How's confinement doing in Spain?
It's actually very difficult to keep the mindset of being peaceful and trying to not go crazy. Well, I have to be honest, I've been training more than ever, like crazy. Actually, it's been super nice that I'm living right now in a house with a huge garden
Mm-hmm.
and I have everything I need to train. I have a bar, I have a pool, I have push-ups, and it's been actually pretty fun.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah. And you basically spend days training and refining your art. So you said you just started calisthenics, but let's backtrack a little bit because basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain a lot of the women and girls that I've been working with and others, or some of my friends, that calisthenics is a thing for everybody. So I was super happy to find you and see that you're one of us of the community that actually does it. So I just wanted to, ask you a little bit about what's your background in sports, and then how you got into calisthenics, and then we can talk about more ways you implement yoga into calisthenics and vice versa, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Well, I've been into calisthenics for just maybe 2, 3 weeks.
Yeah, you
I've
said.
been trying to do things that I see, and I really admire the power and the muscles of the people who does calisthenics, because I think the strength and the power you need to hold these poses, like for example front lever, is really amazing. And I'm coming from yoga,
Mhm.
and obviously in yoga we do a lot of things, and yoga is a calisthenic workout if you see it as a sport, because you're always using your body weight.
Yep.
But we definitely do it in another way, because it's not much about holding, it's
Yes.
more about moving and always breathing and finding the balance between the two things.
Mhm.
So answering to your question, I've been always related to sports. I love sports. I really enjoy to use my body to communicate and to release things I have inside. I have tons of energy, like thousands of kilos of energy,
That's good.
and I always find sports as a way to release. So when I was a child, I was swimming a lot,
Mhm.
and then when I grew up, I started dancing, and I found contemporary dancing to be a really nice combination of ballet and jazz and moving the body.
Mhm.
So when I was doing contemporary dance, the teacher decided one day to have a yoga class for us, like a complementary training.
So yeah.
And I really fell in love with it because of the stretching and the peaceful mindset that I could find with it, because of the breathing, obviously. So when I stopped dancing, the thing I missed the most was yoga. And then I started practicing, and I found a school, I found a teacher, and I practiced for 7 years before becoming an instructor.
Very cool.
And it was very nice. At that time, I was already surfing, which I also love very much.
Yeah, you guys have some good
And
waves and some good wind there, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you can find really good waves here in
Yeah.
Tenerife.
That's cool.
And well, then I started also rock climbing, which is my other main sport. And that was 9 years ago, maybe, something like this.
That's cool.
So basically what I do is surfing, rock climbing, and lots of yoga
So
and acro yoga.
that's awesome. It's all calisthenics basically. It's body weight stuff.
And balance.
And balance, exactly, and skills. So
Yes.
this is really cool. This is great. And so you've been teaching yoga for how long now?
Now it's been 7 years also.
Wow, nice, very cool. So yeah, you're perfect timing to start calisthenics, because I think that I love yoga, and I did the opposite way around. I started with calisthenics, and then I discovered yoga through friends and people that would practice it, and introduced me to different techniques. And I noticed that yoga is awesome, and it was very challenging for me because I'm not great at it. I'm okay. But what we need to practice is pulling. There's no pulling in yoga. So
No, just pushing.
yeah. So in that regard, we started a class back in the days, 6 years ago, with a friend, my friend Amir, and we designed a class that's called Yogasthenics. So it's basically a mix of yoga and calisthenics. So it's yoga that includes a lot of pulling as well, and a lot of, like you said, it branches out of yoga and adds a little more calisthenics element to the training. So I'll be happy to send you a little bit of the workout that we do there if you want to check it out. But
oh yes, I would love it.
Yeah, maybe we can do what's up, Sasha? Maybe we can do a workout one day later in the future. But this is a great. It's great that we get to talk, because really these two disciplines are very interconnected. So this is great. So you started calisthenics basically since ever, dance, yoga, rock climbing, and so you're now teaching yoga. And do you teach calisthenics? Do you want to start teaching calisthenics? Is it something you'd like to do in the future?
Well, I think I'm a little bit very sharp in my mind. So if I want to teach something, I really have to nail it. And I think I'm really far from be established person in calisthenics now, but maybe in the future, who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I really like to train. And what I like about calisthenics is that it's so challenging.
Mm-hmm.
At least for me, when I see these people doing it, it's like, whoa, it seems so easy and it seems smooth, and it's like transitions that looks like I can do it. And then when I try it, it's like, no way. I mean, I don't even think I have that muscle to try.
It looks easier than it is, really. I mean, it looks hard, but it feels like it's doable, and sometimes we fail. I remember, when I started, it was all like that. Front levers, they look like kind of like an easy, not easy, but there's simple movement, right? But then when you try, you just fail pretty bad. It's just like first time doing a handstand, it's pretty bad, you know. I mean, all these movements are harder than they look. I've actually had, I don't know if you've had the same thing in yoga, but a lot of people want to do the hard things before they practice the easy things, you know. And I'm sure you've seen that as well, and you can probably see similarities. Things that are the same in yoga as well.
Yeah, of course. There is always somebody who comes to a class and it's like, I want to do headstand, or I want to fly, I want to do this, I want to do arm balances. Mm-hmm. And even in yoga, it's more difficult because, for example, me, I didn't reach my handstand through repetitions or calisthenics or gymnastics. I was just doing yoga all the time. Mm-hmm. So I was basically pushing a lot. And that didn't give me like the proper muscles to train. Mm-hmm. But then with time, when I found acro yoga and I saw the first time these people doing a handstand on top of somebody, I was like, oh, I want to do that. I need to do it. And I started training more to hold the handstand, and it was a long path. I really like it. And being humble about your process and respecting your limits. And this is yoga. So it is. When I found calisthenics and I was trying to do the first move, I saw that it was a back lever. And I was like, okay, I want to try to do this. I couldn't even pass my feet through the bar. The skin the cat. So that really got me, because it was, okay, this is a challenge. I love challenges. Cool. But it was also like, okay, this is like learning handstand and learning everything in yoga, you have to breathe, you have to know your limits and respect them,
Yep.
because otherwise you're going to hurt yourself, and obviously this is not the point. So yeah, I love the process more than the goal. I love the process.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, you're a yogi, so you got that already, but it's definitely what I try to tell people is that they got to enjoy practicing. Is the and it's funny how even when we practice, sometimes we get to you get to a skill that you manage, and then you stop for a minute, and then you lose it. I don't know if it happened to you, and then you get to retrain again. It's always like that. So humble. It's
all the time.
It's a discipline for humble people.
Yeah, and this happens all the time. Even with yoga poses that you think you already have, it depends on everything, even in your emotional situation, the season, how are you digesting, what are you eating, and this you have to be humble, because all the things that happen around you are going to be reflected on your practice.
Yeah.
So maybe one day you can hold a handstand for 1 minute, and the other day you can't even go upside down.
Yeah, it's very different. It's really weird. So yeah, because there's so many other factors, holistic factors that affect this. Because I saw that you do holistic health as well, right? Like global health, like eating well, sleeping well, stretching, and everything. So we'll get to that after if you're down. But I also wanted to ask you if you had any tips for girls that want to start. Because there's a lot of, I teach that to everybody, girls and guys and older people, younger people, really everybody. But do you have any tips for women or younger girls that want to start calisthenics? How did you found out about calisthenics, and then what would you recommend to start with? What was the first thing that you did?
Yeah, well, the first time I saw calisthenics was in a park, and I was just walking by, and I saw all these guys, because there were basically only men, and I was like, what is this? And I remember when I was a child, I always watched the Olympic Games, and I was very attracted by this sport with the bars, like gymnastics. So obviously that got my attention, and I was like, what is this? What is happening? And at that time I was living in Barcelona. So I remember once I was skating with a friend, and I saw this park, and I said, let's stop. And so I just went into the bar with the skates on, and it was rollerblades. So I handed her, and I was like, well, I want to do something. I want to try something. But it was very, very impossible for me at that time. And I think the first advice I would give to a woman who wants to try is to not get frustrated, because sometimes we see men, and obviously you guys are so much stronger than us. So don't get frustrated if you try the first time and it's very difficult or it's impossible, because definitely it's about repetition. It's about to know your limits, to know what you can do best and what you can't do easily. And then from your practice, just practice and practice more that thing that you cannot do.
Yeah, exactly.
And
good advice, right?
And obviously for women, engage and train a lot the core. Because it's very important for calisthenics, and also to know your limits in your shoulders and arms, and really push them hard, and try to build a sequence every day to make them stronger.
Yeah, and this is exactly. This is a great advice. I hear myself talk when I hear you as well sometimes, because a lot of time people tell me they can't do this and they're going to do it later. I'm like, no, this is exactly what you need to do now more. They're like, I need to get in shape to start calisthenics, and they don't. Sometimes they're mistaking the process. But and what is there any movement that you like doing more, or that you would recommend for girls? Maybe one push movement, one pull movement, and one core movement, and then one leg movement. Let's do those 4.
Okay, I have favorites that I think it works for me. Maybe not for everybody, but for example, skin the cat,
Yeah.
which I discovered recently. I love it and I enjoy it so much because it's so difficult.
Yeah.
And this is something I always do. Like what I found is very difficult. I love it and I fall in love with it until I can do it and be comfortable in that position. So that exercise, I think, is key to get stronger, to hold the bar. And another thing that I don't know if it's like an exercise properly, but just hold the bar and stay there.
Dead hang?
I do it a lot for rock climbing, but for me, the grip is very, very painful, and it's been a challenge to just hold there and stay. So I try to spend a lot of time in there, and I do repetitions just holding the bar.
Okay,
And
can I give you a trick?
yes, please.
Yeah. So a lot of time, the hanging, you need to false grip more probably. I mean, I don't know, I've never really seen you dead hang, but a key to activating a lot more forearm is to, instead of hanging straight, you hang with a hammer grip like this. So it's a lot harder.
I will try.
It's a lot harder because then it requires a lot of extension in there, right? It's because it shortens here and then it expands here. So it's going to really affect your whole lat, everything in there. You'll see that it's different to extend the arm with a bent arm like this. So for your dead hang, try the false grip dead hangs. They're a killer. They're really hard, but you'll see. It's a good challenge. And whenever
definitely try it.
You start like this, and then it starts to slow down, to lower, you know, because we get tired, and then you got to re-grab, you know. You can do maybe, you know, 15 to 30 seconds. Start with 15 or 20, and then get up and get up. So yeah. So sorry, I was I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah.
Perfect. I love your advice. I will try.
Yeah,
I always do it just hanging because of rock climbing. Yeah. But this I never tried before, and I think it should be nice for the forearm, right?
Yeah, because basically I've noticed I've noticed the rock climbers use their fingers a lot. I mean, it's a lot of finger strength, right, and feet and everything. But it's when you grab the bar, you want it to have it really in your palm. Use your thumb, and then really grab it and close your forearm. That's going to help a lot because you guys are strong with your arm.
I have a question.
Yep.
When you hold the bar, do you hold it like this or like this?
So there's everything you can do. When you use your thumb, it gives you more strength in the forearm. When you take the thumb off, it puts more focus on the lats and the back. But both are possible. And if you get tendonitis, because I've seen people that are asking, and we can talk about little problems after, because people have asked me questions about elbow problems and things like that we can do about it. But so that's what's one of the first one. When you grab the bar, if you don't want to hurt your elbow, take the thumb out so that it doesn't cause tendonitis. But if you grab it with the thumb, it's going to activate more tendon action, and it's going to hurt a little more. I mean, so you can do both really. You can hang like this or like this, but if you want a strong grip, use the thumb. You use the thumb like as a, it's very important. It like this, like they put all the pressure on the side, and they don't close the index. So you want to really close the index. You want to have a straight fist, not like this on the side. You know what I mean? See, like it needs to be parallel, so that all the fingers are equally active, and it gives you good power in the hand and the forearm and everywhere else after. So indexes and pinky really activated, and straight fist, not like this, because that would be imbalance in the forearm. If that makes sense, you know?
Yeah, completely. So, I think I will have a different way of doing it now, and it will be nice.
Yeah, because you'll see that instinctively we go like this, like kind of like holding a racket or something, but it needs to be more straight, you know? It needs to be more like equal, balanced in the fingers. That gives you better balance in in all the movement you're doing, pulling.
Great.
But yeah.
Okay. So as I was telling you, another exercise that I really enjoy is to just hang in the bar and do these abs, lifting the legs with the legs completely straightened.
So yeah,
This
that's
is
the
also
core.
very difficult for me.
Yeah, hanging leg raise is very important. That's definitely a staple. So we said skin the cat for pulling. We said hanging for the back and grip.
Yes.
Hanging leg raises for the core. This is really good.
Yeah. And another one that I really like, I'm not sure if it's the same name for calisthenics, but Frenchies. Do you know them?
I don't know them. Which one are these?
Okay, it's like I always do it for rock climbing. It's actually a negative because you have to hang in the bar and then you go completely up for a pull up.
Yep.
Then you go to this angle and you stay there for 3 seconds. Then you go to this angle, you stay there for 3 seconds, and then you go down in another 3 seconds.
Yeah, this is really good. Yeah, we do that too.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it's a dead hang variation basically, but you're opening, so it's almost like a fly, right? Like a flying exercise, but yeah, it's like a mid-size.
I also do it like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is good. Yeah, definitely. That's a great advice. So yeah, guys, practice both your grips because that really extends the lat differently for sure. This is good. And
yeah, I think those are my favorite. But for the legs, I don't have any favorite. I really like this one where you sit completely straight and then you have to lift your legs.
Yeah. So
I don't know the name of
like an L-sit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's more for the hip flexor maybe.
Yeah. It's a lifting. Yeah. It's not completely a quad or full leg exercise, but there's I mean, girls love to work their lower body, so that's why I was asking you. I would recommend. I mean, if I had to give two tips, I would do narrow squats and I would do single lunges or one leg lunge. Like elevated lunges.
Yeah.
I think these are very easy to do, and I mean not easy, but you can do it everywhere. You don't need anything, and but the narrow squats is something that a lot of people have a struggle to do. It's hard for me as well.
Like me.
Yeah.
I don't like squats.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's an easy. I mean, it's a simple calisthenics movement that we can do, and that works really well for legs.
Well, actually, I do like one of the legs, but I don't know the name, like side lunge.
Yeah, side lunges. Yeah, everything that's one legger, basically one leg is a good way to put more stress on one side.
Yeah, this is my favorite, I think, for the legs.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Hip raises are good too. When you do a bridge and then you invert and you raise up, that's good for the glutes, for the hamstrings, basically.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. I mean, nobody, I don't know anybody who's a fan of squats really, but hopefully we still get to practice them a little bit because we need to. And but that's cool. This is great. And what's your calisthenics goals? Do you have any? And I mean, by skill wise, and then maybe like we said, maybe teaching it later in the future, or combining it with your practice in yoga, or
I have a long list of goals.
Well, let's start.
I think the first one would be to have a super nice back lever, like completely straight with feet together. I kind of can hold it with straddle position.
Nice.
And it's nice, but I want to have the legs together. Then obviously
I got a trick for you. I got a trick for you.
Yeah.
So back lever, it's a lot of chest, upper chest. So when you hold this, start with the tuck, right? You tuck your legs in, and then it's like a squeeze, like you squeeze your chest together. You want to round your back up.
Oh, okay.
And it's a lot of chest, basically. The back lever is a lot of chest. So
nice.
Chest,
I will try that.
Yeah, you get a protract your scapula because you don't want to arch, right? So you want to retract. I mean, you want to protract your scapula forward so that it kind of gives you that little arch. I mean, that counter arch in the back. So you can suspend yourself. And it doesn't pull on your
Love
lower
it.
back that way, you know? Because if you arch, then it's going to be really hard on the lower back and it hurts. So you're going to really, like, it's a lot of shoulders and a lot of protraction in chest.
Okay.
Just,
And
yeah.
what's your tip, your best tip for front lever?
This grip,
Okay.
the false grip, the false grip is the secret. I mean, there's many secrets, right? I mean, there's many right from the bar, like this. But if you grab it, you can pull. You know, it's all about pulling forward. I mean, towards you. So I would do a lot of tuck. So you know, bent legs, and then hold like this, and a lot of negatives, and then a lot of hold statics, and then a lot of negatives and hold statics, and a lot of false grips.
Great.
It's really combining the static holds and the dynamic raises is the recipe for success. But it takes a while. I mean, the truth is it takes forever. It took me years to hold one. It was years of training.
Yeah, I can imagine. I
So
can imagine completely. And
as long as you're not in a rush.
I like it. I like the process. I really like the process.
This is awesome. This is great because it's really what it is. It's I mean, I feel calisthenics and yoga are similar for this. It's really, you got to enjoy practicing it. But really it's very pleasant once you get to where you want. Or, you know, once you start to feel like a little progress, it's really cool. You know, it feels great. So I think you should just keep doing what you're doing. And do you have one pushing exercise that you recommend?
Pushing exercise.
You have probably a ton.
I really like this, you know, Adho Mukha Shavasana, when you're doing downward facing dog.
Mm-hmm.
I really like to do push-ups in there.
Yeah, like Pike push-ups in a way.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a good one. Yeah, there you go.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah, Pike push-ups are good. I mean, it's definitely good. It's we can do dive. Do you do dive bomb push-ups?
Yeah, I tried.
Yeah.
I like it.
Right?
It's challenging.
You go down in the plank and then back up, right? This one is cool. Yeah, this one is nice. It's actually hard too. I mean, you're pretty advanced, so you can try those. They're
yeah, I will definitely. I would love to hear all your recommendations. Actually, another goal I have, two more I have, is planche.
Yeah.
Which I know it's very, very difficult, but I have my mindset. I can see myself doing it.
This is awesome. It's so, and we can close our talk on this, but I think the most important thing in what we do is self-projection. Seeing yourself in the future, even if it's for 5 years, or it doesn't matter when really. But projection, a lot of people, they want the thing now, in the next day or the next week, but they don't really see the patience that we need to have to make progress, basically. So
yeah, of course, everything needs a lot of work and a lot of practice. And I mean, I've been just doing this calisthenics workout for a couple of weeks, and for example, for planche, I've been trying to do, I never do it. This asana is called lolasana. I was trying for years, and then now I can do it. Just 2 weeks.
Exactly. And all right, so and last but not least, how would you if you're a beginner, if you'd had like girlfriends that want to start, how many what would be your recommendation for workout? Like how many times a week and for how long? I have the answers, but I'd love to hear yours.
Of course, yeah. I'm not sure, because I think everything is about the muscles you train.
Yeah.
But what it feels like common sense for me would be to train just 3 or 2 times per week, maybe. And obviously resting in between, because normally with yoga I just rest one day, and I'm always changing between Ashtanga yoga and yin yoga.
Yeah.
So if somebody asks for my advice, I don't know why, I would say to train 2 or 3 days per week.
Yeah, that's good to
What is
start.
the proper answer? Tell me.
No, that's good. When you start, when people start, 3 workouts a week is probably a good amount. I always recommend a little more. I say that if you can do 4, do 4. But when you're a beginner, 3 to 4 times a week is good. And I would go, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. And there's no rule, like you said. It just depends where you start from. But it was just to get people ask. Some people they don't really know where to start and how to start. So that's why it's a good idea. I mean, it's a good bold figure to tell them 2 3 times a week, about an hour every time, and because they need the dedication. Because a lot of people, they're just gonna try, once a week for 20 minutes. That's not gonna work, right? So
of course,
that's a repetition over the weeks is so important, and it's good that girls hear it from girls as well. Because when they see guys talking about it, they're like, yeah, whatever, But
yeah. But I'm this kind of girl who really likes to work out. I could do it daily, like for sure.
But it's good. It's good. Daily.
Normally, I, for example, just handstands, or I hang in the bar and I try to do repetitions, and sometimes I do some capoeira.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like to do it daily. I don't like to rest so much, which I force myself to do, but definitely you're not going to get results if you do it just once per week.
Yeah, exactly. But see, so we can, I completely agree. This is getting your body used to it. It's, I now sometimes take rest, but really I haven't taken rest in years. I just did stuff every day, all the time. People ask me, when do I rest? I never rest, really. Only rest when I'm really beat up, when I don't feel it. But I really never rest. So it's a good thing to.
Okay.
It's a good thing to cut the myth. People want to rest all the time, but we'll rest when we.
Yeah, it's true.
We can rest when we die. That's what I tell them that.
And one thing, there is another exercise that I really like. There is just doing push-ups while doing handstand, like handstand push-ups.
Mm-hmm.
This is really nice, and this also I tried once a long time ago, and I could do just 10, but now I'm doing 40, and it's like I feel super strong.
You said 40 or 14?
No, 40.
That's
40.
That's insane. On you put your feet on the wall, right?
With the wall, yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
But this has been very progressive, because I was just doing with friends. Like, I always try to challenge my friends. Like, I bet you cannot beat me, and they can't.
Okay, that's
Men
really
friends.
good. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
This is actually a good call. Yeah. It worked.
So I was trying while rock climbing, and at the beginning I could do 10, then I was doing 15, then 20, and last time I was able to do 31, and the last time I did 40.
That's really cool.
And I was very impressed because of the way I did this progress. I don't know how exactly, but as you said, I never stopped training. I just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah, do you do it in a row, or do you do it in different sets? How do you?
I do normally 4 or 5 sets, and
Mode right there. Yeah, beast mode mentality.
yeah. This is all mindset, because I even
Cool.
like breathe, and I want to win.
Yeah, exactly. This is it, and this is a good advice, I think, for people that want to start. Is what you did is challenging your friends. A lot of people, they think about just themselves, but they don't see that they have family, friends around them that can be part of this. They want to a lot of time people don't. I've reached out to my friends, my family. You know, we make a group and challenging people is really good. I don't know if you've seen that, but people don't know really. That's why they go online or they go everywhere else, but they don't even ask their friends. You know, it's like when we were kids.
It's true.
You know, you can challenge your friends like, oh, you can't do this, I can, and I feel that it really helps for fitness and health in general to keep doing that because
it's true.
Adults, they stop doing that.
I have another question.
Yep.
For you.
Yeah, go ahead.
And another of my goals is to do press handstand from the frog position, this Bakasana.
The frog, yeah, the frog, you mean like okay, yeah. This is hard.
Yeah, I know. But can you give me a tip? Because I can do normal press handstand with legs completely straightened, and I can do like some variations of it, and I can hold both sizes, but I cannot connect it. Yeah. So what is a tip for that?
I would do, I mean, overhead lifting really. So I would maybe do like some, you know, some bend lifts, like from some, you know, like anchoring some band in the ground under your feet and then just grabbing like this, or doing some ring work, you know, some inverted ring bicep curls. You know, when you're inverted like this and then you're just working this upper position right there. You're gonna have to work like specific areas because it engages.
It's shoulder, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of shoulder. I mean, all of this stuff, it's a lot of shoulder, and arms, shoulder, chest, and stabilizing the shoulders is really what matters. I feel these are hard transitions, so definitely conditioning the shoulders is going to help, I think, a lot. Definitely.
Nice. Okay.
So yeah. So yeah, this is cool. This is really cool to have to be able to chat about your experience. This was great. I think it's going to be an hour soon, but I don't know if you're down. We can maybe do it again in a week or two. See how your progress is doing.
Yeah, of course.
And then we can chat as well about everything else around this, like food, sleeping, you know, like holistic health as well.
Exactly, I would love to.
If you have some...
also like to talk about how can yoga and calisthenics can complement each other, because it's the perfect win-to-win situation, because each one of them can really...
Let's be in touch in the next couple of weeks, and then maybe we can do a little bit of program or a demo or something that, you know, I'll have people asking questions, whatever, you know. Guys, if you want to see stuff about calisthenics and yoga, shoot it. And then we can debrief what people send us, and then we can maybe make a program or something, and then we can talk about the food and the holistic health aspect of things if you're down.
Perfect.
Cool.
I would love to do a training also together. Would be nice.
Yeah,
live training.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, we can definitely like.
I can beat you with the handstand.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. Maybe I'll beat you at front lever. You beat me at handstand push-ups.
Oh yeah. This is for sure.
I'm sure you can. I mean, you know, I'm not proud. I don't care. You know, I don't have an ego in calisthenics. So.
Me neither. I love to see people winning.
Exactly, it's great. It's, you know, it's a group thing. If the group is winning, I'm winning. Basically.
Exactly.
You know.
Yes.
So yeah, let's. Thanks a lot for doing this. This was awesome to chat. Super happy to meet a calisthenics girl that's strong. And then like I said, let's be in touch. I'll shoot you some questions that people ask, and then we can take it from there. And we'll do it in a few weeks again.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
Amazing to know you. And yeah, I would love to chat about nutrition and how do you eat and how do you